Good evening, Dragon Warrior Randomizer fans, and welcome to Z3 Final Chapter. My name is Gambit017. I am here in the booth with Fionn Burgundy for this Game 3 between Ziggy and Z-Man. How are we doing today, Fionn?
I am doing fantastic. Looking forward to this. It feels like we just did this. It's the deja vu all over again. 24 hours ago, we had Game 2. And that forced the deciding Game 3, and here we are. Z-Man, Ziggy, the winner to take on Jeff? I never learned the pronunciation. I
believe
usually
it is
am better at that. It is Joof, okay. Go with my instincts. That's usually the way to go here. And the way to go here in Dragon Warrior Randomizer. It's for our racers to find and defeat the evil Dragon Lord. They'll also need to collect certain key items to trade in for the Rainbow Drop, which will allow the runners to enter Charlotte Castle, the home of the Dragon Lord. They'll also be fighting enemies one at a time to gain experience and levels to get stronger, as well as gold to purchase weapons, armor, and items to help in their quest. And one thing it seems to be absent at the moment is magic. They're starting with 0, and the HP looking a little on the low side too, but the nice counterbalance to that, we have 17 strength to start, so they're not going to be just dealing with slimes and red slimes and nothing else. But let's see if there's anything in the throne room that will help our runners out as we are underway. And we've got 3 chests to open, a magic key, so there's going to be a bonus one here, a cursed belt, potentially sellable for 180 gold, and the obligatory magic key, so our runners will more than likely take a save and then check the treasury.
Yeah, shades of Game 2 a little bit where we had to double key start. Only difference is, again, that 17 strength is going to be very nice. I know our runners, the last 2 seeds, didn't have much strength to start off with. Very happy to see that in this one.
Z doing something a little different here, and opting to leave, finds Swamp Cave North, and also finds a town in the swamp here. Meanwhile, in the treasury, we have a torch, we have an herb, we have the treasure chest glitch in play, and we have gold in the bottom right.
We have a gold grind unlocked, but nothing that Ziggy wanted to keep. We have Breckenary was what was in that swamp. Let's see what we got in the shop here.
Well, magic armor wouldn't have been a terrible thing to start with, and we'll certainly see if a bit of a redecision on that tends to occur, or perhaps not. Hard to say. As we've got the fairy water is what I was trying to double back and look for here. So yeah, nothing too great. Yeah, the weaponry being just a bamboo pole, only adding 2 additional attack. Gonna leave that alone here. It looks like both of our runners going after Magidrakes, which at this point, they should be able to take out in an average of 4 swings, except there's the Heal More on Z-Man's side. And level 2 brings 10 more power, and still no magic.
It's like 10-4-4-0, no spells. Ziggy got through that Magidrakes without seeing that Heal More, so what gives him kind of a little bit of edge leg up here. We'll see if he ends up fighting another one and finds out the bad news of it, but there's level 3 already. This time we're going to get 10-0-9-5, but no spells.
Yep, so the power stays stagnant along the way. We do at least get some magic, and Z-Man running into a bit of trouble here in the early going.
Yep, got punched down by a droll. Didn't have any luck against that Magidrakes. Just some rough sledding so far for him. Sure, we'll be able to turn that around quick, though, as Ziggy takes out another Magidrakes. He's going to get level 4. It's going to give us 1 power, 4 speed, 9 hit points, 7 magic points, and stop spell.
And Ziggy still has not seen that town over to the northwest, as Z-Man taking out the Drakey here following the ghost, and does get that power boost at level 2. And now might want to consider those Magidrakes, as a melee is anywhere between 5 and 10 hit points, but for now it's just trying to catch up on levelage here. Yep, now he's going to give it a go. Oh, game. You rascal. That is a disgusting act of the Dragon Lord 2 breath variety.
That's Healmore and DL2 breath they have, isn't it?
That is.
That's ugly. That's just ugly.
25% of both, just enough to sprinkle it at you and make you question life decisions.
Now, when Ziggy took some of that gold that we had from grinding up, went ahead and went back to the back of Tantagel, bought a new key, and then said, hey, look, I know there's gold in here. I can just get that gold and buy more keys. So we're good to go.
And after having seen that DL2 breath, Z-Man says, all right, I've had enough of this silly thing, this Magidrakey. Rob Draven having it right on the head there. That is indeed bowling shoe ugly. As here comes level 4 for Z-Man, going to even things up. The middle chest in the treasury was the fairy water.
Ziggy's going to go ahead and go down below Tantagel here, show us what's down here. And that is the grave.
So grave in the back of Tantagel. So a number of ways to potentially get a gold grind here. As we have gold at the top. We also had, I think that was a key and some more gold.
Yeah, gold, key, gold, and this is a death warp right here for Ziggy, and probably wouldn't be surprised to see him gold grind. Actually, the chests aren't going to be there because we haven't actually left the castle. Yeah.
So, yeah, if Ziggy did want to do a gold grind after taking the death, it would have to go back into the grave of Garen, and of those 3 chests in the top of the grave, I'm thinking now here, the left and middle chest would still be available, so that could have been a way to potentially gold grind, as Ziggy takes out the Metal Scorpion and gets exactly enough for level 5, and we have 5, 2, 7, and 4.
Still no spells, though, so only stop spell here at level 5. I'm sure the runners are like, let's get something we can cast, please.
Well, Z, with minimal resources, going to purchase another key and take a look at the treasury here. We'll find out that there's enough gold to take care of business here. There's the torch, herb, fairy water, and the gold, so just taking a look at the inventory real quick, and is going to go purchase some more keys. And I would imagine check the basement, and if Z is able to make it down to those gold chests, could do a gold grind, and we have seen that, or Z-Man has seen the town of Breckenary with that magic armor, so you think that might be at least a nice, decent way to start grinding for the moment here.
Yeah, that magic armor will give us pretty much the best defense the money can buy. We have another cave just north of Tantagel as well. And Tablet Cave.
So no enemy encounters here, as a fire-breathing Drakima sends Z-Man back to the throne room, but I have a feeling he will be undeterred, and we'll take a look back at what is down there. Meanwhile, here in the Tablet Cave is the Silver Harp, one of the essential items needed.
Yep, always good to find that harp early. That way, once we find the turning cave, we already have it in our inventory. You can say, hey, here, take this harp, we'll take the staff. Thank you very much.
Is he going to throw the fairy water here on the Drakima? And of course, it throws it for a minimum roll because the game knows, but a melee is enough to take it out, and here comes level 5 for Z-Man. And now Ziggy finds Swamp North.
It looks like Ziggy's going to try to make a trek down, see if we can get to the other side, see what we've got. Provided we can get away from the Star Wyvern there.
It's able to. And it leads to another part of the land.
Even better, it leads to a metal slime.
Well, the slime is able to run away at this particular juncture, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it wants to, as just 3 hit points required to take out the metal slime, and it's 32 experience times your level with a cap of 255. That is part of the scaled metal slimes. Meanwhile, Z-Man did get to those 3 chests in the top of Garen's grave and is currently commencing a gold grind.
I imagine we'll see him possibly go to about 10,000. We might see him go 20,000 just in case we take a death trying to get back out of here.
Well, I'm trying to think of what else there was other... Oh, okay, he's gonna just go 10 grand, okay.
Yeah, the only other things in there, again, was the bamboo pole and then the small shield.
And meanwhile, we have a pair of towns over here on Ziggy's southeast end. And we have Rimmeldar to start off with. Going to take a look in that shop. And, well, there's a hand axe. That's going to add 15 attack into the mix here. And Z takes a back attack death to the Rogue Scorpion. So, an interesting choice of taking 50... okay.
Might be going after, I believe there was a full plate?
Full plate armor.
Yeah, so it's probably saying, you know what? The magic armor would have been nice, but I'm just going to take the gold plate or the full plate to be happy. Or no, it's the half plate.
Half plate. No, ops against the clothes.
Pretty sure the clothes was a misclick.
Oh, absolutely. And there's Hawksness, and Ziggy immediately nopes out.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason to even check that spike tile right now. We don't have any way to defeat it. So, best is just to say, okay, cool, it's here. I'll come back to it later.
Yeah, I figured Z would go up to about 15,000 and change, so if he took the death, he'd be able to at least get the magic armor, but opted against it for some reason. Ziggy takes a look at the shop, opts to leave it behind.
Wonder if Ziggy was double checking to see if there was a large shield in there. I know he picked up the hand axe, the leather armor, small shield. Probably was just double checking, making sure there wasn't anything else in there that he wanted.
Yeah, Z-Man, meanwhile, walking into Breckenary, getting a bunch of sundries as Ziggy takes a death to the Stone Man.
Looks like Z-Man's wanting to do a little bit of a grind, possibly. Try to get a little bit more levels before we go too much farther out.
Yeah, Ziggy's starting to explore quite a bit here. Finds another town and another cave. And finds a Wolf Lord. He's going to go after it here.
Looks like they have hurt, so maybe not a bad idea. If it's got a high hurt percentage, this could be doable still.
And takes it out for 52. And here's the town of Cole on Ziggy's side.
We have seen one cursed belt, so at least one of the search spots is something. And there's our silver shield. So here's where we want to go if we want to do that gold grind.
And there's the best weapon in the game, Erdrick's sword in Cole.
Yeah, that's going to be a big pickup. Going to give us a huge increase to our attack power. Look at that, 86 attack already.
Yeah, an increase of 25 over the hand axe. And I think based on the movements and everything, this should be Mountain Cave.
I believe you are correct, as it's the only other cave that we hadn't seen yet that's going to have monsters in it at start, so...
But Ziggy thankfully lighting the torch to confirm the thought. And here comes level 7 for Ziggy. 8 power, 2 speed, 3 hit points, 6 magic points. Spell's still at a premium here.
Yeah, I bet Ziggy was hoping for at least heal on that, as we are a little low on hit points here after the Rogue Scorpion battle, but uses his last herb and says, okay, I've got 22 now, I can hopefully get through here.
First chest in the mountain cave of 5 is the wings.
I mean, thankfully, all in all, this has not been too bad of a mountain cave. Drakimas, Rogue Scorpions, we've definitely seen worse things in mountain caves this tournament.
Most certainly. A magic key found here. So, gold grind potential is in play for Ziggy, and, well, there's a wizard, but is able to get away, at least for a step. There's the fighter's ring. That's vanilla-ish. And there's Erdrick's armor.
Wow. Sword and armor already for Ziggy. That is huge.
All within 16 minutes here. And the last chest is going to be the Stones of Sunlight. So, Mountain Cave proving rather fruitful here in terms of finds. And that's where Z is going to want to get to ASAP.
Yeah, Z is still sticking around the area by Tangential, trying to do some grinds. We'll have to see if Ziggy can kind of use this exploration he's done and parlay that into a win and moving on.
We see wizards with hurt more. And, yep, this is the intentional death warp.
Ziggy knows where that silver shield is, so I fully expect him to take this, do a gold grind, and then make a run back to Cole to pick up that shield.
Part of me was torn and kind of wanted to just swing at the wizard there, because you figure, all right, in one hand you take a death, and in another hand if you happen to kill it, all right, it's 120 experience, and you're pretty close to level 8. But I guess with Erdrick's armor and healing 1 HP per step, it's tempting to not want to kill enemies if you're trying to death warp.
Yeah, it's probably the thought process. And here comes the gold grind. Now the question is going to be for Ziggy, do we go all the way up just to the silver shield and then take the save and make the run? Or do we go a little bit over just in case we take a death somewhere along the way?
No, I think it's going to be a 14-8 and save scenario here. Because, I mean, the only way you would potentially avoid that, you'd have to go up to almost 30,000 gold to take a death and still have enough to get a silver shield.
Yeah, I agree. While it's definitely a thing we can do, the time to put in to do that, probably not worth it in this scenario. Probably just faster to save and reset if something happens.
It's an old adage that I heard goes, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yep, there's the save, and now Ziggy's fully expect to beeline it back to Cole. In the meantime, we look like Z-Man has got level 8 here. We have 10 power, 1 speed, 3 hit points, 1 magic, and heal and radiant. So finally a heal spell.
So this might be what pushes Z-Man out to do some exploration, but I hate to say it almost 20 minutes in, but it might be too little too late.
I think it's all going to come down to where the token is, really. So that's the only thing Ziggy is missing right now.
And yes, our restreamer Brian Williams 42 noting it, just because you can doesn't mean you should. That seems to go for Dragon Warrior Randomizer in general, and I would wholeheartedly agree with that.
Hey, look, we found a harp turning cave, and guess what Ziggy has?
That would be a harp, so that can be traded in for the Staff of Rain.
So one less thing on Ziggy's to-do list. Now we need to use that token in the Jerk Cave, and Ziggy's ready to go.
And Z-Man now finds the Tablet Cave and will pick up his torch momentarily. I was looking at the Rimmel. I was looking at the wrong column in my row in my thing here. That's the Silver Harp. The torch is in Rimmeldar.
Correct. Yeah. So that's going to be Silver Harp for Z-Man. Unfortunately, quite a bit behind Ziggy at the current moment. Really needs to push out to the east to try to find that hole in that mountain cave.
Well, at this point, Z-Man looks to be zagging while Ziggy is zigging.
Well done. Ooh, that's an Armored Knight over on Z-Man's side, but does get away from it. The regular Knight might be something we take on. Nope, Z's like, I'm just exploring right now. I'm not ready to take on anything else. Meantime, Ziggy has found a freebie cave. And there's the token!
Oh my goodness!
I'm trying to wonder if our restreamer had somewhere to be tonight. Yeah, so right now, Ziggy's basically saying, hey, I need to find a Jerk, I need to find Sharlock, and I'm in grind and go mode.
So this has just been pristine exploration in the early going here on Ziggy's side, and Z-Man is right there, just needs to go east a little bit more.
If he can see Mountain Cave, he'll have Cole in his sights momentarily. I guess right now the question for Ziggy is going to be, how do I want to grind? Do I want to keep kind of taking these small stuff on the overworld until I have hurt more, and then go check the spike tiles and swap in Hawk's Nest? Do I want to just walk around until I'm ready to go? You know, he's got options to him right now.
And Z picks up the Erdrick sword and buys a large shield here in Cole. Has to not be feeling too great about that, and now is approaching the mountain cave.
Yeah, to answer your question in chat, Ziggy has seen Hawksnest. Hawksnest is on the other side of Swamp Cave to the southeast. Oh, wizards have hurt more, by the way.
They do, and they cast it twice in a row to send Z back to start before even getting into the mountain cave.
I'm sure Z-Man's going to beeline it back there saying, that's a cave, I need to find out what it is, let's get back over.
Well, I think at this point, based on his exploration, he knows that it's either the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave or it's the mountain cave.
Meantime, Ziggy's going to be picking up level 9 right here. We've got 4, 2, 7, no magic, and the spell of sleep.
Z-Man realizing, alright, I've got to get whatever experience I can here. Figures, alright, I've got heal, I can cast it a few times after the battle's over, but I need that 105 experience.
He's going to pick up the wings here, and hopefully can get downstairs and pick up that armor.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me! He goes for the spite kill of the Magidrake, and the Magidrake DL2 breaths him. Oh, wow.
That is absolutely awful for Z-Man.
Game, I have some unsavory words for you that are going to come after this broadcast.
I'm sure Z-Man is currently saying those words, and we just can't hear him, thankfully.
I know he is.
Meantime, Ziggy taking on the Armor Knight and defeats it. That is impressive. Well, I guess not as impressive when you realize we have 110 attack power already.
Yeah, the game definitely decided to turn the spite around. Acting like the spite is the beat, and that the game is Vicky Sue Robinson.
And Ziggy, a little low on resources, is going to go ahead and take a stay at the Motel 6 real fast.
And thank you to the disco aficionados who picked up on that reference.
Z-Man is back into the mountain cave. Let's see if we can get down to the second floor this time.
Yep, the murder bats seem to live up to their name thus far. And now Z with some spite.
Ziggy is trying to push out to the west a little bit, trying to see if there's anything else over here that we haven't seen yet.
Finds an armored knight, and Z is going to go after this wizard here. Not a terrible play, all things considered. Yeah, basically a nice high rolls, gets a 2-shot, and well, gets the empty magic key slot there. Yeah, hitting 18 to 36, so that's an average of 3 attacks, and oh, wizards have heal as well.
At least it's just regular heal, not heal more. Z-Man gonna get through it.
Oh, and that's right, they also have that hurt more.
Yeah, probably very glad we didn't see that, but there is the fighter's ring, and there is the armor.
Meanwhile, level 10, oh hi, just some more strength. Another, what was that, 16 strength, 5 agility, 7 hit points, 1 magic point, and the spell of hurt.
I mean, our stats are coming along. We can do good damage to Dragon Lord. Probably want it a little bit higher, but 126, nothing to scoff at. Oh, by the way, werewolves have DL2 breath.
Would you look at that?
But yeah, strength attack power is good. Defense is pretty good. Right now, it's our MP is our lacking stat. 27 MP at level 10 is ugh.
Atrocious, abysmal, abominable, a litany of different adjectives that can be used to describe it and still keep me on the air.
Looks like Ziggy, after taking a desk, is going to run right back down here, try to make sure that we didn't miss anything.
And now I think Z's looking for one of those wizards to take a death warp here. Or a Drakema, that, you know, one of the Drakies to do some sort of fire breath.
Unfortunately, Ziggy was trying to get away from a werewolf, was not able to, and the werewolf's going to send him back home once again.
So Z-Man now picks up level 10 as well. And with this attack power, Z taking no chances is going to also use the Fighter's Ring. Because at this point, on average, you can two-shot a wizard with 126 attack.
Yeah, right now, D-Man's like, I don't want to kill you, wizard. I want you to send me home because I have some gold I need to get and a silver shield with my name on it.
I believe to the southeast, we saw Hawk's Nest.
It's on the other side of the swamp cave. Southeast, on the other side of swamp.
It's on the other side of swamp, okay. Oh, that's right, it was Rimmildar and Breckenary were the two towns to the southeast. I stand corrected. I don't even have orthopedic shoes. And there's the printing of money once again. So Z gonna also go up to around 14,800 to pick up the upgrade shield.
I think he's just kind of pushing through exploration, saying, I need to find a jerk, I need to find Sharlock. Let's keep on looking and see what we can find.
Well, for now, looks to be finding experience at a pretty decent clip.
I mean, 126 attack power, there's literally no reason to run from anything. You can just two-shot most things. Maybe a couple things that might need a three-shot, but yeah, you can hit hard right now.
I would say most of the upper-tier Sharlock enemies might be a little troublesome, especially without heal more. I mean, golems, you're looking at an average of 5 attacks. The Red Dragon, Armored Knight, Stone Man, and Blue Dragon, you're averaging 4. Yeah, Repel with the 71 defense, that gives very minimal enemy availability. Pretty much it takes out of the proverbial fight pool anything... Oh golly, I want to say below a Wraith Knight and below.
Site chat's confirming Wraith Knight's on down is what's being repelled right now.
I'm trying to crunch the numbers in my head. It's all... That's right, Wraith Knights are 68, so... Yeah, the next up from that would be a Knight with 76. So yeah, you only have, in that case, 13 potential enemies in the fight pool. The 10 Sharlock enemies, the Demon Knight, Magi Wyvern, and the Knight. And Ziggy trying to get away from this Blue Dragon, and the Blue Dragon says, alright, I'll send you away, back to the castle.
Yeah, but Ziggy was right there and saw Sharlock in the very corner of the screen. Nothing nearby it, though. No towns, no nothing. It's going to be a long walk to get back over there.
Yep, Sherlock playing the role of Tipperary because it's a long way to there.
Ziggy's going to go check the spike tile here in Swamp Cave, and it is red dragons. And Ziggy says, I'm not ready for you yet, thank you, bye.
I would gladly pass that up.
Let's say next level 7, 3, 15, 12, and hurt more. There's a nice stell.
Although you can see the attack power in green, I mean, Hurtmore's alright. In fact, it's so alright here, you can see it's guaranteed to do damage on the metal slimes here, and excellent move, sure, why not? Here's another 255 experience.
Ziggy employing the just crit strategy. Remember, when in doubt, just crit. Oh, and we found a town, and I believe by process of elimination, that has to be Cantlin. Actually, no, we haven't seen Garanham yet, have we?
We have not. And it is, in fact, Garanham.
And to my knowledge, the only cave we haven't seen is Jerk, so I believe that's what's going to be under here.
Right you are, Gambit. Yes, so Garanham is going to be required in that regard, but as far as treasure chests, eh?
I mean, Death Necklace might be a nice find. I don't think we need to use it, considering what our attack power's at. But that would be the only thing I think would be, you know, even a thought. Well, there's a Dragon Scale. That's not a bad idea. Okay, Dragon Scale, Golden Torch.
And Z-Man has found Erdrick's token. Yeah, Fairy Flute's not a terrible find either. There we go, 37 minutes in, Ziggy the first to acquire the Rainbow Drop.
Ziggy also the only one with knowledge of where Sharlock currently is. But I fully expect Ziggy to dive back down and head to Hoxus and find out what's on that spike tile.
And 2 attacks, and there's a big 255 experience on the Metal Slime for Z-Man.
Ziggy beelining it down to Hoxus here. The good news is with Rimmildar right outside, nice easy point to back out and refill our resources when we need to, and then come right back into this fight.
Yeah, if there are those metal slimes in the desert, it's a possibility. Wait, Z, why are you going to the weapon shop? You have all the best stuff money can buy. There you go.
Axe Knights on the spike tile here.
Oh boy.
This is going to be grind and go for Ziggy right now.
Isn't even bothering to search the tile, unless I missed it the first time around.
Nope, nothing we really need here. So probably just saying, I'm not even going to take the time to search. I'm just going to go in. I mentioned that we're punching him down. We're not even casting Hurt More on him. We're just punching. 3, 2, 2, 23 magic. There's our magic, and outside.
Now here's Z-Man getting level 12 as well.
That one level almost doubled our magic, so...
Ooh, Z-Man swinging on 2 and gets it. Takes out the Armored Knight with minimal resources.
Wouldn't be surprised if Z-Man had been counting his damage and said, look, I know I'm one swing away. As long as it doesn't dodge, I've got this.
Yeah, with this high attack power, you're just swinging at everything and not having to worry about a grind. And Z-Man takes out a blue dragon for 180 experience.
I can't tell if Z-Man is just kind of sticking around in this forest grinding or was just getting encounters as he was trying to walk away. It looks like it was just a random encounters as we walked.
No, that was just the classic one encounter every one step that seems to be in a forest tile, even though it's actually 1 in 16. Because as we know with this game, if you are trying to get somewhere quickly, the game will give you an endless barrage of encounters. And if you're trying to grind, the game will act as though you can repel everything.
That was an Armored Knight kill there for Z-Man. Gonna go ahead and heal back up. In the meantime, Ziggy is down to one more heal spell. He's going to probably take out a couple more Axe Knights and then head back to Grimmeldar and heal up and come right back here, I imagine.
This Axe Knight should be enough for level 13. And is. 0634. Still no heal more. Gotta keep going. And yes, the 180, that comes from the competitive world of darts.
Well, Z-Man unfortunately finding the DL2 breath from the werewolf, and Ziggy finding an Armored Knight that just doesn't want to let him run away.
Is he about to go find out that the red dragon is a thing?
I'm going to try to attack through it. Again, our attack power, not a bad idea. 350 experience, and Swamp Cave's not that far from home. Not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you can just max out your HP, you're averaging a force shot on the red dragon. 22 to 45, and it has a max of 106, so... I guess, on average, 3.5 shots. And, oh, look! It's the pesky murder bats who have been giving Z-Man the business the entire seed.
Z-Man's like, I'm not even going to deal with you. It just attacks right through him. In the meantime, Ziggy did go straight back through that Swamp Cave, straight back to this spike tile, and I imagine we'll be seeing him go up to at least 14, maybe higher, depending on what we got.
We see Axe Knights with heal, but again, with this power, that is negligible.
So this is Z-Man's first time through the Swamp Cave. Going to be able to find Rimuldar and Hoxus here in just a second.
And realizes, I don't need anything here.
And so I guess the big question comes up is, once we get Healmore, do you move back to the Swamp Cave to go for those red dragons, or do you stay with these Axe Knights?
I would think you would go back or go into the Swamp Cave and deal with the red dragons just because, yeah, the attack is so high and Healmore, I mean, you're averaging... Well, you're averaging 2 swings on an Axe Knight, but it also has heal, versus the Red Dragon, you're averaging 4 attacks, but you're getting, as noted in chat by our restreamer, Brian Williams 42, you're getting almost triple the experience per Red Dragon kill than you would per Axe Knight kill. So I would think that the Red Dragons would be more efficient.
I would agree with that assessment. But while both our runners are grinding, we do want to give a big shout out to our restreamer Brian Williams 42, as well as our tracker B Supreme TV. Without the two of them doing this work behind the scenes, we would be absolutely clueless up here.
And even with them doing work behind the scenes, some would argue that I'm already clueless, but that's a whole nother story.
Level 15 was 0, 2, 14, and 10. So we're going to end up another level.
Yep, still no Healmore. So they're guaranteed to get all 10 spells by level 16.
Yeah, we see Ziggy going and taking the rest here in Rimuldar and right back into Hawksness.
It is a slightly shorter walk to get to the inn from Hawksness to Rimuldar versus the Swamp Cave. But I still think that at least once Healmore is acquired, if they still need to grind, that the Red Dragon might be a skosh faster.
At this point, all we really need is Healmore. I mean, our MP is a little lower than you'd really want going into Sharlock, but everything else... I mean, Agility's still low at 59, but Agility's just a number, right?
It's merely a suggestion. I mean, it does affect the defense, which... Even with all the best gear being at 78 on Z-Man's side, 77 on Ziggy's.
Ziggy's got the Dragon Scale, just hasn't put it on yet. That's why we don't see that extra 2 defense power. But, I mean, everything there looks pretty darn good.
Yeah, depending on what is obtained at 15, that might be dicey, and the advantage here, Ziggy has a little bit of an experience advantage, already has acquired the Rainbow Drop, and knows where Sharlock Castle is.
Yeah, whereas Z-Man has not quite found the Jerk, which we know is under Garanham, and has not seen Sharlock yet. Z-Man's going to go take level 14 and say, I'm going to push on this exploration, working his way up and around to where we know Garanham's going to be, so we'll find the Jerk Cave relatively soon, and he'll have a decision to make whether to keep exploring, trying to find Sharlock, or go back to doing a grind.
Well, as Z-Man is taking care of these last bits of errands, this is allowing Ziggy to continue the dedicated grind. And Z, where are you going?
I don't know. Wait. Does he think about it? Yep, I think he thought about it.
Realize, wait, there's a cave back there. I don't think I've seen any other cave, or I've seen all the other caves except this is where I need to go. Checks the chests, I guess hoping for a fairy flute, death necklace.
Here's going to be level 15 for Ziggy. We have 1 power, 1 speed, 20 hit points, 9 magic, and there's heal more.
I think that is your go level.
I would agree. I think this is the point where you say, this is an elimination match. We need to go. We need to go now. Z-Man, unfortunately, coming to the end of that continent, is going to return back.
I think Z-Man might be considering grinding on those red dragons.
I do believe that's what we're going to do. And
nice crit to start.
Yeah, once again, the just crit strategy. That's all you need. Just crit everything. You're fine.
We know level 15 has heal more, and that is 876 experience away for Z-Man. About 3 more of these red dragons.
Yeah, but then Z-Man's going to have the decision of what do I want to do, where do I want to go? Because remember, he has not seen Sharlock, so he does not know which way he needs to go, and that's a little bit of a windy path to get down there.
As we see here on Ziggy's side, just approaching it now.
Got chat pointing out that we never saw Caitlyn this seed. We don't even know if there's coordinates. I don't think any of our runners are going to check, but yeah.
Well, yeah, just like that, you can see the experience differential that was well over 1,000 in favor of Ziggy is pretty much down to about a red dragon's difference here. About 355, as now Z gets the level, gets the bonus HP, gets the heal more, and figures I need to calculate real quick and go.
Wonder if Z-Man's taking a look at that agility and saying, I don't trust it to get me down there cleanly. Let's go get another level, see if we can get some more agility.
Or might just be death warping.
Or it could be death warping.
Yeah, you venture out, Z-Man, and try to find Sharlock. And that is possibly what he's doing?
And to you two in chat saying, instead of consulting a magic 8-ball onto what to do, Z-Man decided to consult the magic red dragon. The red dragon said, go home and explore. Also, I find it quite funny that neither runner ever decided to check that Hawk's Nest file.
No, Z-Man did. There was nothing.
Ah, okay.
Z-Man bringing some fairy waters into the mix here. As Ziggy getting fairly low is going to utilize a couple of more herbs here.
Yeah, it's already had to burn one just regular heal. We had that to burn. We weren't quite all the way up to another heal more, so burning that regular heal doesn't hurt too much. But still, now we're at resource management state. We want to make sure we don't burn anything else in our dive here.
At this point, you're meleeing 9 to 18, so that's 13 swings on average, and you have 10 heal mores. But with that 141 HP, doubles are going to be fairly likely. I mean, the main concern with the Dragon Lord's second form of the fight is that DL2 can potentially melee you at 78 defense for, I believe, up to 52?
And with our limited heal mores right now and only 10 available to us, that's not necessarily the best thing there.
And Z opted to try to run away from those armored knights as opposed to fight them, and ends up getting run blocked and sent back.
Yeah, but Ziggy, in the meantime, is down in the basement, working his way around. Only one spike tile to go, and then we might have a Dragon Lord fight on our hands.
And it's a stone man and has just enough MP to cast sleep once. And of course, it has a 2 out of 16 resistance to sleep. So of course it resists it.
Of course.
12.5% of the time, it fails every time.
Well, we make it through. I don't know if Ziggy has any herbs left. Well, there's an armor knight. That's, well, we're going to just fight through it. I think 3 hits, I believe, should get us there.
Yep. 2 if the rolls are high, but it looks like it's going to be the average 3. Or it's going to be on the unlucky side, and it's going to be 4.
I was going to say, I don't know if we have any herbs left. Doesn't look like we do. We're going to have to use a heal more here and do a little bit of heal walking.
The heal walk, though, is a dangerous gamble, especially when something like that back attack happens.
Yeah, back attacks, run blocks, and we're already down to less HP than we started when we did our heal walk.
Decides to go with 120 here, is going to decline the Dragon Lord's offer to share half the world, gets called a fool.
It's double hurt ward, so not necessarily the best of starts. As long as we don't get a back attack, we might be able to get a double, but very doubtful.
No, I think it's going to be just a single here. Yep, going to have to use a heal more. There is the rainbow drop on Z-Man's side.
We're at 32 right now for Ziggy, and this is not looking good. 48.
And Z-Man, meanwhile, has found Sherlock. Yeah, you can go ahead and keep the count going.
At 73 right now. So just shy of halfway, and we've burned half our heal morse. We're at 110 right now.
Decides to heal more as opposed to swinging. Oh, now at 125 does get the... Is that a triple?
We're at 137. $151. We should have this.
Wasn't a great heal more, though. Ah, but the 14 does it.
At 165 total. Get your GGs out in chat for Ziggy. He is going to finish this race in first place. A little over now. We have exact time in just a minute. But it's going to take the third game and move on to the next round of the tournament.
Yep, no princess to worry about, and 1 hour, 34 seconds is the official time.
At just barely over an hour. This seed was very, very jetty.
Now, Z took a moment to pause to acknowledge Ziggy's victory, and it looks like is going to finish this out here.
Yeah, Z-Man's probably going to make the dive down, see if we can get down there, see if we can take out the Dragon Lord. If it doesn't manage to get there, we might see the forfeit, but you know, we're already in Sherlock, might as well try to finish it out.
Yep, for all we know, he may do as he had done in the previous seed and accept the Dragon Lord's offer to share half the world.
Meantime, I do believe we are joined by our winner, Ziggy. GG's.
GG's.
So, how you feeling about this one?
I think this is probably top 10 seeds as far as exploration luck goes. I got lucky. I found everything really fast. Twice I died in a moment where I would have probably explored something that had nothing and ended up in another direction and finding something important. Absolutely everything went my way. That was insane. The one thing I got really scared of, though, was the Sherlock with red enemies in all 3 zones. And 60 agility is always fun. So I decided...
Oh,
Rum had a lot of strength.
Wizard. Looks like Z is throwing in the forfeit here, so we'll bring Z in here and we'll go over this and discuss. Okay, or that's right. Z has administrative powers or lead powers, so he can just bring himself in, and here he is.
Hi.
GG, Z. Well run.
GG.
Just a little bit of bad run luck there at the end.
Z has
Yeah,
administrative
I mean,
powers.
I had already known that. I already knew that you finished it. If I didn't have known that, you know, maybe I cast a heal more there. But I thought I explored pretty gosh darn well. But I'm guessing you went right a little earlier than I did.
I actually went left first. I got through Swamp. I found Rimmelsdar and Hawksness. Then when I died there to, I think, Stone Man, and then I went to the right and found the sword in Coal and the armor in Mountain Cave. I didn't need 2 dives for Mountain Cave, which was kind of lucky, I feel.
Yeah, I needed to.
It was
But
just
yeah,
after
no.
the
But
16-minute mark that Ziggy had found Erdrick's sword and
yep.
armor.
Yeah, and I want to say I was probably about 10 minutes behind that or so. Yep. I mean, it just yeah, like I said, I thought my exploration look was pretty decent, but Ziggy's was better. And you know what? Well played, man. GG.
Thank you. I see you died. Did you die in Sherlock?
Yeah, yeah, I was going down.
Oh, so you were not really far behind me, actually. That was pretty close.
Yeah, I think I had just gotten into Sherlock. I think I was on the second floor when you hit the done. So basically, the thing, the one thing that kind of tripped me up is I actually didn't find Sherlock until literally it was the last thing I found. So I mean, I had the drop, I had everything I needed. I just didn't know Sherlock.
Yeah, thankfully it was not that far from Breckenary, but if you explored southwest before and like
Yep,
the east of that area before you went
yep,
down and to
I
the
did.
left, yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
no,
probably 5 minutes there,
yeah, exactly. So I mean, hey, uh, I mean, we played. I guess I'm hoping three really good races. And you know what? The best person won here. I did full marks, man.
Thank you very much. I knew you would be a really tough opponent to beat, and like we were talking about this yesterday, is that both of us are so even that what's gonna change a race very often is a little bit of luck. And the fact that I got the sword and armor before you did was pretty much all I needed, and even then it was pretty close. And
Yeah.
that's kind of like yesterday, the second race. All that I needed to win was a bad encounter with a golem. And the first race, you found the armor quickly, and I didn't. So that
Yeah,
was really
I went
all
left
that
instead of
was.
right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and
DWR. There's RNG in this game. I
oh
didn't.
yeah.
I don't know if you knew, but there is RNG
Yeah,
in
and I
this.
had no idea. I thought this was purely skill based.
But I love this game.
I have
It's
a
a great
follow up
game.
to that, but I am probably better off not saying it. I'll save that for my own channel.
But no, how about that strength, huh? I encountered a metal slime somewhere and I hit it for two. I'm like, what? Wait, huh? And it was only like a half an hour or 45 minutes into the seed. And I'm like, I'm already hitting a metal slime for two? What in the, huh? So, I mean, we didn't have heal more early, but we were a tank. We were a tank.
Yeah, absolutely. I also killed metal slime in 2 hits. I'm like, oh, okay. I knew I had already a lot of strength. Like I think maybe less than 20 minutes in, I was racing armor knights and meleeing them to death.
Oh yeah, as soon as I got the sword, I was taking on the wizards. I was taking on the armored knights of blue dragons. I mean, nothing scared me. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Did you go for the silver shield quickly?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I feel like
Yep, I
that
get
was necessary. With the amount of agility we had, not
agility.
getting the
We had
silver shield would have been
we had
horrible.
agility in that scene.
Oh, I know you're right. We actually didn't.
But Matt, this was a fun race. I thoroughly enjoyed this one.
I have to say, Z man, I did feel for you when I think you were heading through the swamp cave and tried to spike kill that Magidrakey, and it blocked you or dodged, and then DL2 breathed you and sent you back. I thought, oh, that was definitely a spike kill, and
Yeah,
it backfired.
big time.
Okay, so that's another part of luck. I didn't see DL2 on Magidrakis at all.
Oh, lucky! I saw it like three or four times. I mean, I knew it had it. Well, at first I found heal, because we were strong enough to take on Magidrakes right away. I think the first enemy I saw was a Magidrakey. Hit it twice. Oh, it had heal. All right, well those are off the table. We get a couple of levels and we get enough strength, so I try it again and I get toasted back to start immediately. So when I encountered it, I think it was in the mountain cave that I encountered one, and I went to swing at it to teach it for its to teach its family for its sins, and it backfired on me rather spectacularly.
Would you
All right,
say
so
what far
Chad
back
is
as a
asking
fire?
here. I was going to take the high road and avoid it, but since Chad is asking, they wanted to know if anyone dragon scale shamed Ziggy. We had not.
Yeah, you should. You should absolutely shame me for that.
So Ziggy had the dragon scale, but had never put it on. So went through the DL2 fight with 78 defense as opposed to 80.
Doesn't change anything, at least for the Dragon Lord.
True.
Unless
And
I'm mistaken, no, it
it's
doesn't
not
change
like
anything.
I've never done that ever. I always put the dragon scale on immediately. I think it took me 5 minutes to put mine on.
I did not forget at least the fighter's ring.
Yeah. The fighter's ring. I always put the fighter's ring on immediately because I'm like, I want that 2 power.
Yeah.
Give me strength.
So we were talking about feeling like this seed would be something like 2 hour and a half, 3 hour seed, but I think we were wrong. That was really a jet seed.
That was. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you could put this in the Discord under delight seed, right? For the seeds of torture or delight. This was a delight to play. And then if you take the right path, this is easily sub-hourable.
Oh yeah.
And you gosh darn nearly did it.
Well, I would have done it, but I ended up just before the Dragon Lord in very, very scary position, and I needed to heal walk.
A lot.
That was a close fight against the Dragon Lord. Like, I got there only with 9 heal mores because there were red dragons and armor knights everywhere in Charlotte.
Well, I saw the armor knights. I hadn't seen a red dragon yet, but I hadn't made it down to the bottom zone.
So by the point I got to the 3rd floor, I think I had 2 or 3 herds left, and I had killed 3 red dragons.
Okay, yeah, no, I hadn't seen a red dragon at all. But again, like I said, I hadn't reached the bottom floor of Sherlock, so if they were down there, I didn't see it.
Well, they come up. Well, anytime you have agility under 70, you're going to see them everywhere.
Well, yeah,
I think it's hard coded in.
I do believe you are correct. I mean, but yeah, I mean, and good luck to you against Joof. Juf's got his hands full with you, man. I hope you do well against him.
Not only that, but I'm going to be able to badmouth Jeff in Quebecois as well, because we're both from Quebec. That's going to be fun.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Although I'm sure the organizers made sure that one of us would eliminate the other because they're afraid of a Canadian takeover. There's so many Canadians playing Dragon Warrior Randomizer.
Can't have 2 Quebecois getting too close to things.
No. But at least one's going to get through. And honestly, I think it's another case where me and Juef are very close in skill. So that should be a very nice series to watch.
Oh, and by the way, just in honor of the race, and I alluded to this a little earlier in the chat. We went out to celebrate my niece's birthday earlier today, and along with that Long Island iced tea, I had some poutine in your honor, good sir.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So you had the Long Island iced tea and poutine, and you still were that close in the race?
Yep.
How did you even play DWR with that in you? Are you a machine? What are you?
I kind of let one eye take a break every 5 minutes, so I pretty much raced one-eyed, and I let the other one sleep.
Oh, you're a dolphin. Okay.
On the bright side, Z gets to join us here in the commentators booth for the rest of the tournament, and I'm sure at some point he and I are going to cause more havoc, shenanigans, and otherwise.
We better. We better.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I don't know when I wouldn't be for it. Although now you've made me hungry for poutine. I need to go fix that.
Yes, go fix that.
I guess at that stage we should probably wrap up. Any final words from you guys, Z or Ziggy?
No, I just would, as usual, would like to thank the organizers. You guys are always amazing. It's always a treat to play these. Always well organized. I want to say GG to Z-Man. You would have deserved to move on as well. I think that was a battle that was more decided by RNG than anything. But I'm not going to complain about moving on, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I would like to say
Hey,
thanks, everyone.
and again, full marks to Ziggy, man. I mean, this it could have gone either way. It didn't break my way this time, and you know what? That I'm cool with it. So I played my best. Ziggy played his best, and yeah, best man won in this case. And again, thanks to the organizers and Brian and Beef for doing the tracking, and Brian for doing the restream, and of course to Ferran and Gambit for yakking on this one. Ferran, you got all three of these games, and Gambit, you got 2 out of 3, which is really cool. But yeah, thanks, and of course, this is absolutely not the last you'll be hearing from me this tournament. I'll be in the booth quite often.
Definitely
Most
look.
certainly. With that, we're going to take it over to RPG Limit Break, game 2 of 3 between Jake Hoper and Beta Strap. Until next time, stay classy, my friends, and more importantly, stay safe. So long, everyone.